Our journey starts in Jakarta. From Jakarta we went to Bandung, and from Bandung via Cirebon to Pekalongan. Then we visited the Borobudur temple. We spent one day in Jogja, one day in Surakarta, also known as Solo. We went further to MADIUN and Surabaya. And our last stop was BANYUWANGI in Java. Finally, we arrived in Bali. The surprising thing in Jakarta is that you can see most of the cultural highlights in 1 to 2 days, like the national monument, the government building, nice parks, shopping malls of course, and different very exclusive 5-star hotels. We stayed in the Fairmont Jakarta, and we can recommend it for a nice atmosphere, great pool area, and really amazing roof terrace bar. On our second day, we went to Bandung on a very nice highway. It was less crowded than usually because it was the first Christmas holiday. Usually there's much more traffic on this highway. In Purwakarta we stopped to have a look to Mount Burangrang. It's a nice shortcut but very time intensive. Finally we arrived in Paris of Indonesia, the second name for Bandung, and have a look. It's a beautiful city center from the old Dutch colonial time. Unfortunately, the highway goes only until Brebes. Afterwards, you have only small streets, and most of them are really crowded. On the way to Cirebon, you also cross Tangkuban Perahu, the only drive-in volcano in Indonesia, and you should definitely go there because it's just super impressive to see. On the way down you will pass the tea plantations, what is also really nice and recommended to see. On our road trip we stopped in Cirebon and stayed one night at Santika Hotel, but we would recommend you to go further to Pekalongan and to stay there at Santika Hotel because it's newer and more modern. The challenge to go to Borobudur from Pekalongan is there are simply no highways, and you only go on small streets. From time to time you will see Visata Desa something. This means it's a village view. You pay 5,000 rupiah and will have a nice view to take some pictures. In the afternoon we arrive at one of our Javanese hotel highlights, the Villa Borobudur. It's a beautiful resort, very small, cozy, private and very exclusive. As you can see, it's built in a traditional architecture overlooking the valley, and it's only 10 minutes by car from the Borobudur temple. The Borobudur temple compound is one of the greatest Buddhist monuments in the world, and was built in the 8th and 9th centuries. From Borobudur we went to Jakarta. It's around 90 minutes by car, and it's a very crowded city with lots of traffic jam and less culture than expected. You have a nice city center with Dutch buildings, but everything else is mostly traffic. Built in the 10th century, the Prambanan temple is the largest temple compound dedicated to Shiva in Indonesia. In the afternoon we arrived at Alila Solo. Solo is just another name for SURAKARTA, and we stay in this beautiful hotel for one night before we go further to MADIUN, what is in the middle, halfway to Surabaya. We cross Mount Labu area. It's very foggy, cloudy and fresh in this area, so exactly what Indonesian tourism expect from a nice holiday area. On day 8 we go to Surabaya, and we have some highways on this road, but mostly small streets. The way from Surabaya to Banyuwangi is the most tricky one, because it's simply incredibly long. We needed 8.5 hours, and Google told us 6.5 hours and gave us some great shortcuts like this one. So please never accept Google shortcuts on your Indonesian road trip, because you can end up in such a muddy road and it's not a great experience. It's our last day in Java. We spent the night at Bangsring Breeze Resort, a beautiful hillside resort with amazing views to the island of Bali. We are only 20 minutes by car away from the ferry. So don't expect it's easy to leave or enter your car, but it's possible. Finally, we arrive in Bali at the Menjangan resort. It's a beautiful place to watch wildlife like the typical Menjangan deer and other animals. After 10 days of driving, it's simply the best place to calm down and to relax.